Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict. So, I was waiting for the event briefing to be posted to share the fleets and stuff that I'm going to be using. Because the targets and how they drop, it's interesting. We'll talk about it after I showcase the fleet. Well, ships specifically. It's going to be the gargoyle carrier, however, it still needs armor, and I'm still fitting other stuff at the moment because I'm trying to refit as many of my ships as I can for this fight, with the intention of farming them up reliably, and I'm going to be utilizing Victoria Onan and the Venoms to actually open up the fleets for a few different times. And the intention of that is to reduce the repair time on the main ship or the main fleet, and reduce the number of targets I have to fight with the ships. And the reason for this is because the Venoms have only a 6-minute repair time, and in most cases my fleets through testing I've been able to reduce their repair time for most fights by at least 35 to 40 minutes using the little cheap ships. So 35 to 40 minutes compared to 6 minutes. That's not much of an issue in my eyes. And it'll be able to allow you to reliably farm, and in favor of actual efficiency, instead of just repairing them, what I've actually elected to begin doing is I've began farming up to the Mark III ships again and again, and building additional ones with the intention of just launching fleet after fleet of them to open the fleets that I'll be attacking. So the intention of this gargoyle carrier was it's going to specifically go up against the new Valrivan targets. Now, their name is the Onyx, as you'll see, but the intention is to never miss the target and do an increasing amount of damage. However, I want the highest amount of regeneration, so whenever anything does impact it, it will regenerate as quickly as possible. And like I said, I'm missing armor and stuff for it, but I refit dreadnoughts and things like that. Well, not the Segfault yet, because I don't have the level 4 weapons for it still, but I should farm them this time around. And at the moment, the Orator is refitting, but I don't know when. Well, actually, it'll be done in about 20 hours, so I'm just waiting on it. But the ships that will be used primarily are going to be the Gargoyle Carrier, the Venoms, and the Dreadnoughts, as usual. And I'm going to look around to see what targets I can hit with the Harvester, because a few people asked what they could hit with it. Well, you're going to want Tatiana Demina to help boost the shields, because without the... That's adorable. Doesn't actually show it there. But without the shields... Wait. Is that a bug? I think that's bugged. If I go to the individual ship, phase screen, they don't have anything. These ones should have shields. Oh, okay, that was interesting. But, okay, back to this one. The intention of this is to move forwards with certain small tactics and make it so it's not all Dreadnought restricted, as with what I began doing with the intention of using the Venom fleets. They were going to be utilized to farm targets, and I'm going to use them further. Now, with Clay, you can farm the targets to allow you to get a commander such as Victoria Onan in an event where she is featured. And then you can use her with the same Venoms to just further increase the amount of damage you do to a fleet, and make it easier for the next fleet to attack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Venoms in conjunction with carriers. I'm going to be using the Gargoyle Carrier, and potentially the Plexus Carrier, depending on what targets, well, what ships are in the targets for the Onyx fleet. But the intention is currently going to be used the Gargoyle Carrier along with all level 2 Cyclotrons to just destroy the target as quickly as possible. And how you can get the level 3 armors, you can farm the targets as I've shown before for farming for ablative. You can use the Harvester very efficiently with the current fitting that you see here to destroy targets relatively easily in the Miscreant 95s. Well, I don't really say relatively easily, you need to take a little bit of time with some of them. Some of them, their health is low enough it's easy to destroy, some of them you have to focus fire. Now, on to the targets. And the reason I'm doing this early is because of how how stuff drops now. Now, you're going to have a new set of targets. You have the Onyx targets, and they drop blueprints. Now, the Nova drivers, the Ablative Carapace, they are not in the event store. You have to farm for them. Because I've gone through the store and I didn't see them, and I went through it a few different times, and they're just not there. So you have to farm for them from targets, but that's a good thing because as far as I am aware, they are guaranteed drops. So all you have to do is destroy a set number of targets. Now, they may be guaranteed, but the thing I want to point out is they still have a chance to drop a lower amount. So in the case of the Onyx 94, it can drop 1 or 2 guaranteed Valrivian blueprints, pieces. So you can get 1 or 2. That means you either have to hit 8 Umbral Onyxes or 4 to be able to get the ship. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the targets. I'm going to hit each one. I'm going to clear them because if I collect the ship before I move on to the next one, I'll be able to clear tier 0 without ever having to hit them, so I can focus on just farming for the Nova drivers. And again, just like the previous, it's going to take 8 or 4 targets, depending on how lucky you are, to complete the blueprints. And again, completing all the level 1s from this one will allow me to move into the next one and completely clear tier 0 and 1 and go right to tier 2, which is going to be the blueprint pieces for the level 2 items. On top of this, if you want the Ablative Carapace 3 fragments, you can actually farm them from the Umbral Zircon fleet, and it will drop 15 to 30 pieces, and if it's like the Ablative Tungsten armor, it will consist of 150 fragments necessary to produce 1 armor, which I do hope it is because it will be easy and efficient. But these are the targets you're going to be farming, and at the moment I'm going to work on tactics, so that when the event launches tomorrow, I should be able to just streamline the attack with the intention of just making it efficient, simple, and easy to follow. And most of the time what I do to make them simple and easy is I do relative movement, and what I mean by this is most of the movements I perform are located at specific locations on my computer screen. However, they are ship-based. In most cases, I will click around the edge of the firing arc or someplace relative to the ship that is at a direct angle, and these movements can be mimicked on mobile devices and things like that. But that's going to be it, everybody. Short, simple, and to the point this time around. The intention of these fleets is to make the farming relatively simple and easy, but also open them up to different tactics. And if all else fails, if you have the seg fault, you'll have no issues as far as I am aware. But that's going to be it. If you have any questions or would like to suggest any fittings, go ahead and ask them or say so below in the comment section. If you just want to say hi, hi. If you have anything else to say, or if you have recommendations for the event store before that video is live on the second day of the event, feel free to go ahead and leave them below in this comments video, or if people ask directly, feel free to suggest them, things like that. But that is going to be it, everybody. Be safe out in the void. Happy hunting in the Collateral event beginning tomorrow. And as always, everybody, I'll see you later.